Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.
This is something that comes along every now and then in generation, and it's special.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. Delighted to be joined by WBO middleweight champion Demetrius Boo-Boo Andrade. Andrade, listen, Demetrius, I'm sorry for pulling you away from your conversation with your buddies over there, but I do appreciate you doing this for IFL TV. First and foremost, how you finding bubble life in this hotel?
I mean, it seems like they got it under control, and everybody's here safe. We got here, quarantine, test the next day, and you hung around in your room all day until you got your test negative, and you can roam around free, positive, you gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta go, definitely. Before we
negative.
Yeah, we negative.
We've been doing the right thing. We've been doing the social distancing. You know, all jokes aside, you know, it's funny. I'm a funny guy, but you got to do what you need to do to stay safe out there, and do your part to like prevent corona from spreading. If you're sick, stay home, because we don't need the world to be all in the hospital at once and be, you know, in the crash, yo.
Well said, Boo-Boo. I mean, before we talk about why we're here, there's a huge fight to end the year with Canelo versus Carl Smith, but I want to get to you. The reason I want to get to you is because your name was mentioned a couple of weeks ago when Billy Joe Saunders fought Martin Murray. Now, if Billy's obviously made it clear that he wants the big fights and stuff like that. He's up at super middleweight, you're down at middleweight. He wants probably the winner of this fight this weekend. But for you, when you think of Billy Joe Saunders and the fight itself, what's your thoughts?
You know, I mean, we all want a Canelo fight. We all do. We all want that. Everybody wants that. Why? Is it because Canelo's the best? Man, we don't know that. Because, you know, is it because Canelo's going to pay the most money? Yeah, everybody wants that because Canelo's going to pay the most money, of course. But you know how you're going to make more money than that? Is that if everybody starts fighting each other and sitting here, instead of sitting here waiting for Canelo to make a decision, like Billy Joe Saunders, Charlo, maybe Colin Smith, you know, Triple G, they got their like Canelo statue or their poster above their bedroom, and they're sitting there, please Canelo, at the end of the night, please Canelo, please pick me, oh, please pick me, Canelo. And, like, dude, like that's what you guys are doing? That's what you guys are waiting for? No. Let's fight each other, and the people that's going to get eliminated. Have a good night. Oh yeah, it's me again. Like, you know, the people that's going to get eliminated is going to get eliminated, and then you have more of a demand. You're going to make more money. You're going to make way more money. And so that's what we need to do. That's what Billy Joe, Charlo, Triple G, at this point, that's what we need to do. We need to eliminate. Somebody needs to be eliminated, because I feel bad for Canelo. How can Canelo sit there and fight Demetrius Andrade, Jamal Charlo, whatever his name is, sisters, I call him, Triple G again, Billy Joe Saunders, Colin Smith. Like, it's unfair. It's unfair for us to sit there and wait. And I'm not like that. I want to fight these guys. I want to have the people, you know, demand a Demetrius Andrade fight with any one of these guys. Not sit there and wait to see how Canelo fails, to see if he's going to pick me and be like, oh, Heavenly Father, can Canelo make sure Canelo, like, nah, bro. So if Billy Joe wants that Canelo fight, he needs to step up to the plate, grab his balls, and be like, yo, the way that's going to work for me and for him and anybody else is that we fight each other. So the best fight that can be made, because Canelo stepping up, fighting Colin Smith is not an easy fight. He's a world champion. He's fighting. Now, Billy Joe and I need to fight, because we're in that same platform. Same promoter. It's an easy thing to be made. And then from that point on, is it Canelo? Is it Triple G? Is it Colin? Whoever wins, you know, either way, we're still elite guys. But we need to start helping that demand by fighting each other and eliminating each other, so we all can see who really is the best and who really deserves that biggest payday. Because you're just settling for Canelo to pick you, and then he's like, oh, I'll give you $2 million, $3 million, $4 million, or whoever's the lowest ball, because you haven't earned the demand. And so that's what I'm willing to do, is like take the risk, put it all out there, and fight these guys to get the Canelo fight. Not just because it's the money, because at the end of the day, beating him is a legacy, because he is known as pound for pound right now, but he hasn't fought the best yet. He hasn't fought the elite guys in his like age bracket, in his weight class, like me myself.
Yeah. And Cam Smith is the same age as well, which is interesting you said that. But just staying on Billy Joe for a second, Eddie Hearn seems he wants to this fight, but you're at middleweight. Are you ready to step up to super middleweight to take become a 3-weight world champion and face somebody like Billy Joe Saunders?
Yeah, I was going to face him at 160 pounds. My first fight at 106, second fight at 160 pounds. So it doesn't make any difference to me. I'm mature. I'm grown. I'm old enough. My body's filling out. Yeah, I can step up to 168 pounds to fight Billy Joe, no problem. So if I was going to do it then, I could do it now. So I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to show boxing that Canelo's not the only one out there that wants to put like these massive fights together. I want to put these fights together. I want to sit here and have this type of stuff. Billy Joe, I bet you do. Triple G wants it. We all want it, but we need to fight the people that's going to make that stuff, make them things happen. And
what's it going to take to get the Billy Joe Saunders fight for you then? What do you have to do in your part, if anything?
Hey, Billy Joe, man, grow some balls, brother. Like, let's make it happen. What are you scared of? I'm a man, you're a man. We both bleed the same. So let's go out there and put it all on the line and risk it. You're still going to make millions of dollars. I'm going to make millions of dollars. And what is there to worry about? And if you're good, right? If you're good, Billy Joe or myself, if we're good, right? And if anybody loses, if I lose, this is just you know, speaking hypothetically, if I lose, he lose, whatever. From that point on, I should continue to beat everybody else they put in front of me because I lost against the better man. Not that I lose against the better man and I can never fight again. I can never make no more money. I can never do this. I can never do that. Manny Pacquiao, look at him. He got losses. Look what he is still doing. And so the business and the mindset got to be like, okay, I lost against the best man, and that's it. But I'm going to continue to beat everybody else and still make mines and still have a legacy, and maybe there's a rematch.
Yeah. Well said. I've got to ask as well, like, being the WBO middleweight champion, either you step up or you stay at middleweight. I mean, you've got tough fighters in your division. Up at Canelo, Callum Smith, Caleb Plant up at super middleweight. You've got Billy Joe, sorry, excuse me. You've got Charlo, you've got Golovkin at your own weight. I mean, there's big fights out there for you, isn't there? I mean, are you frustrated at the fact that you fought Luke Keeler back in January? We're coming to the tail end of the year, albeit there has been COVID and the pandemic in between there. But are you frustrated right now, Boo Boo, that you can't get these fights?
Yeah, it's frustrating that you got somebody like me, tall, black, and handsome, it's me again, right? You know, that's willing to like take less.
I'm small, skinny, and white.
Hey man, I'm sorry, mama, dada, thank you. But you know, the Most High. But you know, back to what I was saying is like we just need to be able to like get in the ring and make it happen. Like we got to make it happen. We cannot, like I said, we cannot sit here and just pray on Canelo finally picking somebody, which is unfair to him, which is unfair to me, which is because, like I said, I'm willing to take less money to get more money in the future.
That's unheard of with some fighters, and that's quite refreshing you say that.
Because I have confidence. I've been taking, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, you start off boxing, right? You start off with the boxing career, you make $4,000 maybe for a 4-round fight, $5,000, whatever. You're making pennies. Now you're in a situation where you're making $5 million, $6 million, $8 million. These numbers come across. It's like, okay, so what I gotta do? Sign on the dotted line? I've been fighting for free all my amateur life. You know what I'm saying? And now I worked my way up to make millions and millions of dollars. So what's the hold up? What's the wait? I'm confident in myself. If you're an elite guy, Billy Joe, if you're the man, if you need a big fight and you say you need to get in the ring with somebody like Canelo or Triple G, you should be able to get in the ring with me, beat me, send me on my way, and you beat an undefeated fighter, got the WBO champ, you beat a champion that's in his prime, you beat a champion, and then you go make yours. And that's how I feel about him. I'm going to beat him, take it, and move on. And so now, therefore, everybody's going to say Demetrius Andrade a lot more.
The fact that Eddie Hearn and you're talking about Canelo and stuff like that, are you planning on moving up to 168, or are you quite happy staying at 160? Because the reason I asked that is Golovkin's fighting this weekend, tomorrow night actually, and he's in your weight class. He works with Eddie Hearn. He might be looking for an opponent. You are a world champion. Does that fight interest you as well with somebody like Golovkin?
Yeah, but you know, I'm not waiting for Golovkin. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something again, Golovkin's in a situation sort of like a Canelo, but Canelo's a bigger guy, but Golovkin is also a guy who, you know, can pick and choose and do what he wants to do. If he really wanted to fight a prime guy, he could have fought a prime guy. He could have fought Demetrius Andrade. He could have fought Billy Joe Saunders. He could have fought Charlo. He could have fought Benavides, Caleb Plant. He could have mentioned these guys to, you know, unify the division. He could have unified the division with me. But again, we can't sit here and wait for those guys to make the decision, because at the end of the day, Triple G's plan, his ultimate goal and his ultimate plan is to fight less opponents to get that third fight with Triple G and have nothing derail that. So I'm not sitting there waiting for him to make that decision. So therefore, like I said, everybody else need to fight each other. So now it's like, yo, Triple G, what's the weight? I did my part. I'm making noise. I beat this guy. Let's make it happen. Or the same thing with Canelo or whoever it is, at whichever direction it goes in. It's just time for the elite guys to stop, like, you know, not wanting to fight each other because they're looking for that big payday when they're already getting a big payday. Back in the days, back when Eddie Hearn wanted me to fight Charlo, he mentioned $7 million. $7 million is not a lot of money, brother. I don't know what to tell you.
Yes.
Yeah, to me too. I don't care. To me, it's a lot of money, because if you're a smart person, $7 million can make you another $7 million. $7 million can make you another $7 million. $7 million. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, it's like you don't like fighters coming from, like, you know, they say gentleman's sport, whatever. Like, fighters don't come across. How many fighters come across that much money? Realistically, there's so many fighters out here in this world that will be happy with fighting for 100 grand, 200 grand, 150 grand. Yo, do $7 million. Billy Joe, $2-3 million. Like, it's a lot of money, bro. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you. All you're doing is working out your whole life. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's just, to me, it's just like bizarre where you got that much money on the table and nobody wants to go and get it because what? There's risk? What's the risk? You might not get the Canelo fight and make maybe $1 million more, or maybe not, because Canelo's not going to pay you guys if you're not worth that much money. So therefore, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. He's calling up for you fighting Billy Joe Saunders as well. So
listen, at the end of the day, that's just the easiest in the more. It's a friendly fan fight too. I have charisma. He has a little charisma. It's not as much charisma as me. He don't look as good as me. I'm more handsome. I'm more tall. Man, you know, they look at me more than they look at him. But he has charisma. You know what I'm saying? He's a gypsy guy. You know what I'm saying? He rolls around. He does his thing. Listen. I like Billy Joe. You know what I'm saying? There's not nobody I don't like in the sport of boxing. This shit is not easy. You know what I'm saying? To get there and dodge punches, get hit, you know, brain trauma and all this other shit. This shit's real. You know what I'm saying? We put our life on the line and we know what we step into. But at the same time, it's like I want the best for these guys. But when we step into the ring, it's all business. It's nothing personal. But you're gonna take this ass whooping. I'm gonna proceed, and you can proceed if you're good enough to beat everybody else from that moment on.
Well said. You've explained yourself very well there.
IFL TV, thank you. I appreciate what you guys do by keeping the sport alive, of course, by covering, by traveling, by doing what you're doing, getting involved with the fighters and the promotion, and try to, like, you know, work around the politics and want these fights to happen. I appreciate what you guys do, and God bless you guys too.
Demetrius, thank you so much for that kind comment, but one more question to ask you. The reason why we're here is a big fight that happened on Saturday night. You mentioned Canelo, you mentioned Callum Smith. It's a huge, huge fight. I think something's happening there. We're missing it, but a quick prediction?
You know, today was the first time I ever seen Callum Smith in person, and he's a real slim guy from what it looks like, you know, from like I seen him press conference. He's real simple. I fought Willie Nelson, who was 6'3", Aqua Conquin Daco, 6'4", Lantes Fox, I was 6'5", and those guys had like broad shoulders, real strong upper body, you know, small legs. Colin Smith has like he looks lean. He's wide up top, but not broad, but just wide all up top. So I think Canelo has a good explosive power to like chop the tree down and work his way up to the top. He's a lower guy. You know, I'll give you guys a little insight. The taller man and myself, you always have the taller man punch down because he's going to be where you want him to be, if you understand what I'm saying. But if Colin Smith, you know, wants to, you know, make glory, if he wants to be something, he has to really throw a lot of punches. A lot of punches. I'm talking about 300-400 punches a round type fight. Like, that's what he needs to do to secure the win, you know? I don't care how many times he misses, but if you throw 300-400, you throw 200 punches, 300 punches around, 100 punches landing each and every round, then your chances is high to win the fight. But try to like, you know, pick your shots with Canelo and like see where it goes, it's not gonna work. Because if you're a smart fighter, you know what you need to do to beat the taller man, and he's a skinny, slim guy. You know what I'm saying? Fighting a real pound-for-pound guy. He's the pound-for-pound guy right now, you know? And I can only speak for somebody like myself, but just analyzing the situation and looking at their body, for me, that's how I will be a tall guy. Break them down to the body early and have them, you know, leaning in, and you come on top.
Well, Demetrius, there seemed to be a loud noise coming from the bar area. Do you want to go and check what was happening in there? And
you know, it's our people having fun, having a good time. They're not going nowhere. We're here for the whole week. But thank you, like I said before, and Billy Joe, this is to you, bro. Come on. You say you want to make history. You say you want a big fight. You want to be on like this. You want to start working your way up and your stocks and catapult yourself to the Canelo, the Triple G's, and them guys. Well, this is where it starts for both of us, bro. This is where it starts for both of us.
Let's end it there then, Demetrius. Well said. Thanks for doing this fight, Phil TV. Fingers crossed you get that big fight that whether it be Charlo, Billy Joe, or whoever, that you do get this the next fight at the beginning of 2021. Thanks for doing this for Phil TV. Thank you for the kind words as well. And listen and enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you so much, Demetrius. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
You too. All right, God bless you. Thank you. Cool.
This is something that comes along every now and then in generation, and it's special.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.